Ever since I was a little kid, I always thought a lot about death, and I was extremely morbid. Like, there was definitely something very clearly wrong with me. I had no business thinking about those things as much as I did, but I've always been a very deep individual. And while I think that those things might be inappropriate for a child, I think that these things are things that we should definitely be thinking as adults. A lot of us just never assume that we're going to die, or this is like put off way back into our head. And we think that we're going to live forever or that it's never going to come. And I think that's not the best way to plan out your life. I think one of the best ways to plan out your life is to reverse engineer it, or to learn a bunch of different things that when you have to recognize that you're going to be on your deathbed one day, and you're going to get to the point where you might look back on your life and you might regret a bunch of different things. So you can learn a lot from the people who are dying right now and the regrets that they have. And there's this beautiful book that was written called The Five Regrets of the Dying. It's a really good book. I definitely recommend it. You can read it. The lady who wrote this just beautifully wrote this in the most compassionate way possible. And it really pushed the message really hard. But if you just are able to understand the messages already, then you probably don't need that. But I just wanted to talk about the five regrets of the dying, which this lady says that these are the most common themes that she's seen with people on their deathbed. Regret number one: I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. If you think about this, how many people are living their life based off of what their parents told them, what their friends told them, what their significant other told them, or what society told them or tried to condition into them? And how can you really be happy if you're not like the happiest that you could possibly be if you're not living truly authentic to yourself? This is a massive, massive, massive tragedy, and is obviously one of the biggest regrets out there. So I think that's something we could learn from. Regret number two: I wish I hadn't worked so hard. And in this book, it talks about this guy who has like a ton of money and he's really close to retirement, and his wife is begging him to retire and to live life with her, to spend more time with her, and to travel with her. And he keeps putting it off and putting it off just for some more money. And he got caught up in the trap that many people do, thinking that money is everything. And eventually she ended up dying, and he regretted that he worked so hard and that he didn't retire sooner, and he didn't focus on the things that were most important in life, and that would be living with his wife and loving his wife and spending time with her and doing the things that she wanted to do too. Regret number three: I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. This could be really hard for some people too, to express your feelings and to be vulnerable, or to, just be yourself 100%. I think a lot of people are just in this cocoon, or they're just this seed that never really grew or never fully blossomed into the massive flower that they're supposed to be. And this is like tragic on so many different levels, because how could you ever enjoy life or be happy, just like the first regret, if you're not fully 100% being yourself and expressing yourself completely? And if you don't express yourself completely, then the people around you cannot understand you. And maybe you're going to run into some troubles where some people will struggle to understand you no matter what. But eventually, if you keep on putting yourself out there, you're going to find your people, and it's going to feel really good. Regret number four: I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. When I was younger and I first read this book, I didn't understand this one, because I was always hanging out with my friends, and I didn't really have a lot of responsibilities, or I didn't have a girlfriend at the time or anything like that. And I was just always making plans to hang out with my friends and stuff like that. But the older that I get, we're all so busy. We have so many different responsibilities or things that we're doing in our life. And it's so often that we hit up our friends and we'll say like, oh, we're going to hang out on this day. But then when it comes down to it, we end up canceling these plans because of something else or something else or something else. And you have to realize too that like friendship is an extremely important part of life. There's actually even some studies out there that talk about how basically one of the biggest predictors for longevity and living a long life is to have a wide and deep social network of friendships and stuff like that. And so I think that's super important. And, I think in some sense, we're all going to die alone. But if you build really good friendships and relationships with other people, these people, if you're lucky, might be able to be there within your final moments. And I think that's going to be really beautiful too. Regret number 5. I wish I had let myself be happier. How many of us are not allowing ourselves to be happy? We put this thing off. Like, a lot of the times we'll say, oh, I will be happy when I achieve X, Y, Z, or whatever. That means you're prolonging your happiness, or you're delaying your happiness. You're not allowing yourself to be happy right now. And if you keep on doing this, then a huge chunk of your life, you're not allowing yourself to be happy. And you have to realize that we only have one life. So we need to be in the present moment. Yes, it's important to have goals and chase these other different things and stuff like that, but it's important to allow yourself to be happy right now. Don't be so hard on yourself. Try not to stress about things too much. Try not to think too much about other things or overthink. Try to allow yourself to be happy right now. And so this is just a little review of one of my favorite books of all time that really has transformed me and really influenced me heavily. And I just wanted to share it with you. I hope that this is able to help you guys out and maybe help you reverse engineer your life or rethink some of the things that you're doing right now. And I hope that it's able to help you out. You guys have a great one.